Hello and welcome to the Gojenn podcast. I'm Gojenn, your hostess, and one moment please, let me get my notes. Why didn't I start off with my notes? Okay. I want to tell you because I missed an important podiversary. This is I have completed my second full year of the Gojenn podcast. And during that time, I've talked about a lot of different things. I've talked about planners and journaling and knitting and crochet and my dogs that are walking around back there in the yard in this wonderful sunshine we're having. Today is February 19th, Sunday, and this is episode 97. So I am almost to 100 episodes, and I'm almost to 100 subscribers, and I just celebrated 2 years of doing the podcast. So I want to say a great big thank you. Thanks to all my loyal subscribers. I appreciate you so much. I love when you leave me comments. I love when you leave me suggestions. You help me out. When I see the views go up, I'm thinking, oh, I wonder if that was so-and-so. I wonder if that was, one of my special viewers that have been with me from the beginning. You mean so much to me, and so I just want to say a great big huge thank you. And so it had slipped up on me that it had been 2 years, so I don't have anything really planned for a big celebration, but I'm trying to think of something that would be suitable, especially if I get to 200 subscribers. That would be amazing. I wish all 200 would watch. But anyway, I have very little in the way of yarny fun to show you. Very little. 2 socks. I have 2 huge socks on 2 huge sock blockers. Finished. They came down right to the end being lined up. But you can see this one went past this orangey stripe to the red, and this one did not. So that was me. I think part of it is the difference maybe in the heels. This is just a regular heel flap and gusset, and this is the slip stitch heel. I liked it better. I think it will wear better. These do look huge, 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 and enormous and gigantic, but they fit. So, and I have woven in all the ends. I have washed and blocked them. I've tried to kind of close up any of the little holes that I had seen by my accidental yarn overs. So these are ready to wear. I don't know who's going to wear them, whether it'll be me, my mom, or my daughter. I doubt seriously my daughter will want to, but if she does, they're hers. But I think they're bigger than I had realized. Once I put them on the blockers, I was like, holy cow, what huge. I mean, I do have big feet. I wear a size 9 women's. So, and of course, there could only be one other yarn project for me. There it is. That's the sweater sleeve that I have been working on. So constantly. Yesterday, I worked on it for hours and hours. Caught up on all of my podcasts that I've been watching. So you can see here, this is where I had put the 2 sleeves on waste yarn. So I have knit this much, done my decreases along. I'm excited. I'm now doing, I'm just using one set of DPNs and kind of doing it magic loop. And I've got quite a bit to go. I think, I'm not sure how many centimeters. I have to measure that. But I've got some more decreases to do, and then I just have straight stockinette, and then I'll have the cuff. And of course this needs to be done by the end of February. Today is the 19th, so I have only 9 days left. I had Friday off as a vacation day, and Monday is a holiday in the U.S., President's Day. So this is my best shot at getting it done, because I've got to finish an Afghan as well. Not that I haven't even touched that in days and days. And this leads me to another thing I want to say. This bag is from Gimme Yarn 418, Erin. Do you watch her podcast? I strongly recommend it. She is very funny, and she can knit like the wind. Her favorite thing is socks. This is a zipper bag, so I like to turn the top down a little bit so that the yarn, if it's feeding out, the yarn doesn't get hooked on the zipper. So in talking about Erin at Gimme Yarn 418, I want to mention she does a podcast, and it's TGIF, Thank God It's Finished. And her name is Erin, and her Ravelry name and her Etsy shop is Give Me Yarn 418. If you've been watching her, you know that her nephew Seth has, he's just a little baby boy. He has recently been diagnosed with a form of cancer. He has a brain tumor, and he's undergoing chemo right now. Erin is donating all of the sales from her patterns on Ravelry to the Seth Bottari, B-O-T-T-A-R-I, to the Seth Bottari Fund. So I think that would be a really wonderful thing to do. Go out and get yourself a pattern, and it's going to benefit you and Erin and little Seth. If you go to Erin's website, you will see that she links to her sister's blog, which is telling you, keeping you up to date with how little Seth is doing. He's just an adorable little fellow, so I wanted to be sure I mentioned that. And then I've been talking about trying to be a thrifty crafter. So I'm trying to follow the Dave Ramsey plan. The first step is setting aside your $1,000 emergency savings plan. He really stresses that you need to write a budget with pen and pencil and paper, and sit down and look at where your money's going. The budget is how, okay, this is one of Dave's things, that's how you tell your money where to go, instead of you just wondering where it went. So in trying to be thrifty, I know that a lot of us have a lot of trouble with yarn. We want to buy the most beautiful, the most squishy, the best yarn that we can find, and usually that's going to have the highest price tag on the yarn. So what are some ways that we can be thrifty with our purchases and still enjoy the good stuff? I'm not saying this is the good stuff. I'm just saying I went out on the internet and I looked up 2 different kinds of yarn. The first was opal sock yarn, and the kind I looked at was a 4-ply, 75% wool and 25% nylon, 465 yards, 100 gram skein. At Webb's, which is yarn.com, which probably has the most enormous selection, the price was $17.95 for that skein of yarn. That's enough to make 2 socks. At simplysocks.com, the price was $9 for the same 100 gram skein. And then I found another website, littleknits.com, had the same yarn for $7.20 for a 100 gram skein. So you could pay $17.95 or you could pay $7.20. Now, this is only the price of the yarn. I didn't go so far as to put it in a cart and then see how much the shipping would be. I just looked at the price of the yarn. Now, if you've got a deal where you get shipping is free, okay, versus one where shipping is $5 to $10, then that's going to really change your choice. I also looked up, because I really would like to get a skein of Arnie and Carlos yarn, sock yarn. It is beautiful, and it comes out, it is self-striping, self-designing, and it looks so beautiful. That's what I would like to make maybe my 2 or 3 socks ahead. Would like to use that. Knit Kits To Go had a 50 gram skein, so you would need 2 skeins, 2 50 gram skeins to make a pair of socks, and so their 50 gram skein was $8.95. So that's going to cost you $18 for a pair of socks. Webb's at yarn.com. Sorry about the traffic noise. Webb's had it for a 100 gram skein at $17.50. So that was cheaper. And then Simply Socks had a 100 gram skein for $17. So those all ran pretty much the same. I would, in that case, I would let the shipping costs determine who I ordered from. So I just want to encourage you, if you're out and you're looking to see where you're going to make a yarn purchase, before you put something in your cart, or maybe go ahead and put it in your cart just in case, but before you press that confirm order button, just do a Google search on that yarn. It won't hurt anything. And these are national brands. These are not indie dyed, which are going to be, that's a whole different situation. You can't really price shop them unless they're carried in more than one shop. So there's that. But I do want to say, just go out there, Google it. Maybe it's out there for a better deal. I've watched the podcast where people are doing the Desert Vista Dye Works sock along, and if you do this, so many socks in their yarn, you get different prizes, which I think that's great. In that case, it might be worth it. If you combine the price of the yarn you're using versus you're going to get a free skein, see what that costs, and that'll probably work out a whole lot better. So I wanted to talk to you about being thrifty. I wanted you to see what a lovely day it is while my dogs are enjoying the sunshine out there. I've only got until the 28th to get this sleeve finished on my sweater. It's not this week, it's next week. So if you send me any mojo, send me some good sweater mojo. Oh, and several of you commented about me saying that I had the woozy, headachy, seasick kind of feeling, and that it was vertigo. Probably so. From everything I've read about it, that sounds like what I had, and I just waited for it to go away. So I didn't take anything for it. So, but since it was the first time it had ever happened to me, I didn't have a clue what was going on. So anyway, I will hope to see you next week and have an idea of what we're going to do to celebrate my podiversary. And I hope you will give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe. Do you know 7 other people that you could tell to join us so that we can get to 200 subscribers? Because it was 193 the last time I looked. So if you have 7 friends, please ask them to join us. And I will see you later. Thanks so much for joining me. And I'll see you and hope that until I do see you again, I wish you nothing but love and laughter.